Would you like to know how to launch a product using the Jeff Walker style of his product launch formula strategy, but using AI to do most of the work for you? If so, then stick around because I'm going to share exactly how you can do that to make your launch so much quicker and more effective as well. So the very first thing you need to do is figure out what niche are you going to be in, what product and service are you going to launch, if you don't know this yet. And you can use AI to figure this out. First, you figure out what are your passions, what are your talents, what are your natural interests. And you want to create a business and launch a product around something you're interested in so that it stays interesting over time. If you already have a product, then you are light years ahead, but you still want to validate that people will want your product. So the very first thing you want to do when wanting to launch a product is you want to first make sure you know really well who your avatar is. Who are you marketing your product or your service to? And you can actually use AI to do that. If you head over to ChatGPT, you can use the free level, and then you can figure out who your avatar is. First, tell it what niche you're interested in launching a product in, and then ask it, what kind of person would be interested in this kind of product or service? And list out some characteristics, some traits. Ask it to tell you what are the pain points that these avatars are facing and what pleasure, like what outcome are they looking for that your product or service could help them with. So you literally just type in something like, okay, ChatGPT, my niche is cake decorating, for example, and I want to know who would be the perfect avatar who would buy a course on how to decorate cakes so they could run their own cake decorating business at home. And so then ChatGPT will give you a little bit of an idea that maybe it's women between 25 and 35 might be the largest group, men between 40 and 50, and so on. It'll figure it out based on information that it knows from the internet. Then you ask it, well, what are their pain points? Why do they want to have an at-home business decorating cakes? And what is their outcome that they're desiring? And then ChatGPT will come back and say things like, well, maybe they're in the corporate world and they want to find a way to work from home. And maybe they have a passion already for decorating cakes, but they're just not sure how to get started, or they need to learn the basics of decorating the cake. So ChatGPT will actually list out both the pain points and the pleasure points of your perfect avatar. You really want to focus on the avatar that's most likely to want to purchase your product or service, right? That makes sense. Give me a like. All right, so of course, you're going to be wanting to use Jeff Walker's product launch formula style. And in a moment, I'm going to share the exact product launch formula steps that you need to do in order to have a successful launch like Jeff Walker, but using AI. And I'll share exactly how you need to do each strategy. But what I want to focus on in this video is how to incorporate AI into your product launch formula strategy, okay? So what you want to do is when, for example, you're building out your opt-in page where you are going to provide some sort of lead magnet, some sort of gift that they're going to get for free to get them into your launch process and in exchange for their email address. But you need to have things like a headline and a subheadline and a call to action and a button. But you need to have sales copy on all of these things. And of course, you can take time and learn to do copywriting, or you could just use AI and you can literally ask ChatGPT or whatever AI platform you're using, whether it's Jasper AI or Groove AI. It's the one I really recommend the most, especially if you want to have success as an online entrepreneur because it understands sales copy. However, what you want to do is have it say, okay, give me a headline based around my topic. So again, I'm going to use cake decorating. And give me a headline that's going to capture interest and create intrigue so people want to opt in to solve this problem. And I want you to use the structure of a Jeff Walker style opt-in page where you're offering a solution without the problem. For example, how to decorate cakes at home without quitting your job, right? Something so they know that they've got the stability of income coming in. And then ChatGPT is going to lay out a bunch of different templates. And then you have a look at the ones that it sends you and you will get a feel for, would I be interested in this? Does this trigger me to want to find out more about this product or this service? And so you can also, it's great if you have a network, a social media network, you could actually take some headlines and put it in your social media and ask which of these headlines is the most intriguing for you. And then you would ask ChatGPT to create an AI version of your subtext. So the purpose of the headline is to get people to read the subheadline. The purpose of the subheadline is to get people to read the call to action. The purpose of the call to action is to get people to fill in their name and their email address. And the purpose of the button is to get people to click and submit their email address. So AI can help you with all of these, and you don't have to be a copywriter. You don't have to understand how people work and what makes them make a decision to opt in for your opt-in. So the next step is you're going to need some sort of a thank you page, which is going to let them know, it's going to pre-set them up to expect to be launched to. And a Jeff Walker style of launch is where you give 3 pieces of really valuable content, your PLCs, pre-launch content. And that is one of the biggest sticking points when you want to do a product launch is what content should you give? And you can actually use AI to help you create the content. So now you ask ChatGPT or whatever AI platform that you're using. And side note, one of the things I love about Groove AI is you can actually dump the brains of your business right into the AI. And so it will know everything about your business, everything about your product, everything about you and your avatar, and it can create the content within just seconds to minutes. So the AI can actually create either the outline of the content you're going to present, or you can even ask it to write word for word your entire script. Because the thing is, when you create your pre-launch content, you don't have to actually be on camera yourself. Now, if your business is around you and your training, you are better off to be on camera, and you'll get used to it after a while. But if you're not comfortable doing that, you could just have a slide presentation. And that's perfectly fine. And then you would have ChatGPT write out content for you. So you would say something like, I want to create 3 pieces of content where I deliver really valuable information that the viewers can take that information and use right away, whether or not they buy my product or service, but that gets them highly excited to want to buy my product or service to make it even easier for them. So for example, with cake decorating, I want to have 3 pieces of content. The first would be teaching them the best cake recipe that will be a nice, strong, but delicious cake that will hold the structure of whatever cake it is that you're decorating. The second piece of content could be what kind of icings to use and some of icing techniques that are going to help them to create cakes that are beautiful and structurally sound and will actually stay looking beautiful until the day that the cake is needed. And then the third piece of pre-launch content could be teaching them how to actually run their cake decorating business from home. So you would give just the concept of what you want in each piece of these pre-launch content pieces to the AI, and then the AI can actually outline. And you can even tell it to do things like Jeff Walker teaches his PS path. So in each piece of content, you want to have a main problem, the solution that you give during that piece of content, which then creates the next problem, which makes them want to see the next piece of content, right? And in the product launch formula steps that I'll share with you in just a minute, I'll go over exactly how that works, just so you have a better understanding of how Jeff Walker sets up his product launch formulas in order to actually get the best conversions. So after you've created all of your 3 pre-launch content pieces, then you need to create an open cart. And an open cart is going to be your sales page. You might want to have a video, and you might want to have text, and you might want to have both on your page. Well, you probably are not a salesperson. Am I right? If you're not a salesperson, I totally get it. Let me know what your biggest fear is when it comes to selling. And also, what is something about you that would make you a good salesperson? Are you genuine? Are you authentic? Do you sincerely want to help people? Let us know in the comments. I read every single one. So then you can ask AI, and you just simply literally say something like, look, ChatGPT, I want you to create an outline or an actual word for word script of a video sales letter that I could put on my open cart page based on a style of Jeff Walker. And obviously also letting it remember that it has to be about the niche and the product that you are selling. And then it will pop out within seconds an exact layout, and all you have to do is read it word for word. And so I've got a couple of tips for you. So you can either just have it written on a slideshow and then just voice over the slideshow, or if you want to be on camera so that you can connect with your audience, but you thinking, how on earth am I going to remember a huge script that AI has created for me? All you have to do is run your camera, press record, look at your script, read a few lines. You don't have to say it word for word. And then you have the concept of it, and then you talk to the camera. But talk to the camera as if you're just talking to your friend. Don't talk to the camera as if you're talking to a camera. Like, this is just your friend or your prospect, your lead. Choose one person that you're talking to, and that's who you're talking to. Never say something like, hey guys. No. How are you? Very specific to them, right? And then you would go back and look at your script for the next section, and then you would deliver the next section. That's honestly one of the easiest ways to do it. And then when you're editing your content, you can just cut out those empty spots, and it makes it so easy. And then you can use AI for your follow-up sequences as well. So you could have an abandoned cart sequence where someone has shown interest for your product, but for some reason they abandoned the cart. So you could create an abandoned cart series using AI to write your emails for you. You can have a welcome series for people who do take action on your product, and AI can write the email content for you. And you can have a follow-up sequence for people who did not purchase your product or service, but have shown interest in what you have to offer to keep them warm and excited for your next launch. And even more exciting, you can use AI to promote your product launch. So you can use it in your pre-product launch, which is before you deliver your content, to get people excited about it. And again, you just simply say, look, I'm going to do a pre-launch sequence series of social media posts to get people excited to want to join my list so they're ready for the pre-launch content. And it will pop out things. And the nice thing is that on these different social media platforms, it wants you to create unique pieces of content. And it's really hard as an entrepreneur to come up with different ways to say the same thing over and over again, but AI can do that for you. So the next thing is to know the exact steps. You need to know the psychology. What are the triggers? How to actually set up your product launch formula PLCs and your open cart. So head over here next, and I'll walk you through exactly step by step how to do a Jeff Walker style product launch.